going to ask you the question that we've all been waiting for here. Simply asked,
Okay.
what is Nighthawks?
Okay. So Nighthawks there's two things going on here. Nighthawks is, for all intents and purposes, a cyberpunk short series about a cohort of individuals that stumble into something that ends up being the undoing of not only their personal relationships, but the society for what they live in. Where this short film that's coming out is what the team is basically referring to as episode zero. It's kind of giving you a quick glimpse into the backstory of how this all started, and from there, it's the what happens next portion of the conversation. Really, the at its heart, it's about Ryan's character Hannibal, um, who's trying to resolve the guilt he feels for the death of a friend, and that small nucleus family that he created in this group of mercenaries that he works with. And we'll see, knock on wood, that I get to make the next 3 episodes. We'll see what happens to him, and some of the things that he's not prepared for. The same thing for Rennie's character Gondo. He's on his own path, not one of redemption, not one of guilt, one of pure. I want to be in control of everything around me, and I want to be on the next rung, and have, basically have everything laid at my feet. And whether or not that happens or not, well, I would tell you that you're just going to have to wait and see if that episode happens. And I can promise you that I treat cyberpunk as what it is. It's modern Shakespearean theater. And Shakespeare may have written a few tragedies in his time. Cyberpunk is, all intents and purposes, a tragedy. Not everybody gets what they want. They think they've gotten what they want. But this is really just a story that I came up with in about 2019, 2020, right before the Cyberpunk 2077 game came out, and had been thinking about storytelling and some things that happened in my personal life that got me thinking about how do we deal with grief, and what drives us, what are we willing to step on, who are we willing to step on to get to that end result that we feel like we've justified all of that.
That's awesome. What drew you to cyberpunk as a genre, and then like what cyberpunk works in general influenced your approach when coming to like when writing and coming to Nighthawks?
I think what interesting about cyberpunk is it's this pushback against this post-war love affair with all things fancy, and technology is this amazing thing that's going to lift all of us up and move us to be like the Jetsons, and and have robot maids and do all these things. And it's really this pushback against all of that thought process. Like, technology for technology's sake is not great. Untapped, unregulated movement of technology into spaces that do things that we did not intend them to do is a bad thing. And that's why I think I link into that cyberpunk dystopian space. There's a wide variety of things that I could point to that helped craft this story. I can't say just one thing, but the list in no particular order obviously would be Blade Runner. Akira is another great example of storytelling. I mean, there's some symbolism going on with Ryan's character in regards to that, if you're paying attention. But also there's some dramatic stuff in there, like some Akira Kurosawa. Rennie's character is taken from one of his stories that is not cyberpunk in itself, but it is about corporate reverence or governance over morality. And then I always fall back on William Gibson. I mean, William Gibson, may have not would be considered a contemporary, at least regards literature wise, to Philip K. Dick, but his work resonated more with me. I mean, there's a lot of really great 80s and 70s authors that were coming up in that space talking about cyberpunk, and before it was even a known genre. Again, I draw it from a lot of different things. I mean, I've drawn a lot of caricature from even like my days back playing the original cyberpunk RPG. that my
Oh, you played Cyberpunk Red back in the
Oh
day?
yeah, back in it's in case my favorite joke about this is this was before even before Red. My favorite joke about this is I was a big Masamune Shoro fan. Ghost in the Shell, Appleseed predominantly were my two
Mhm.
my go to. Ghost in the Shell was become too, I would say, corporatized. But I wrote, I cloned Cyberpunk RPG on top of an Appleseed esque world so that I could do RPG around that. So that's my little geekiness of being.
Wow.
I really like Cyberpunk. But yeah, that's for all intents and purposes, it's drawn from lots of different things, um, even from what we're modern, our modern society that we're currently dealing with. There's some gig culture reference in here as well. The when you finally meet the waiter, this isn't the only time we're going to see him. Just saying, he's gonna show up a few times in the story, and even your character Phil, you know, I've got plans for you too. So just FYI, the money isn't worth what it is anymore. I mean, my joke for this universe is make money great again.
Nice.
Oh man, and again, this it's exciting because it's a new take on cyberpunk. The genre itself is something where people were feeling like when 2077 came out, and then the new Blade Runner came out, people were like, okay, it's getting a little saturated again. But I mean, it's I love when you can take a genre and give it a new breath and give it a new take, especially adding in like what it seems like as far as the things that I've seen is this is a film that happens to live in cyberpunk versus a cyberpunk thing that is just in there, right? And that's always been my favorite thing with good genre is always a good film that just happens to have this aesthetic, right? And
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I
and
would agree with you. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's technology in my story, but there's no flying cars. There's no fancifulness. It's the human condition, and how we as individuals move through society. I mean, do I want to live in my world? No, I don't think that my world is a great place to live. But is it good for telling a great story? Yes.